My name is Mike Sakinovich, and I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, but at the age 12, I moved to Texas when my mom and dad divorced. And when they divorced, I moved to Texas and befriended a family that went to church, invited me to church, and at the age of 13, I accepted Christ into my heart. So, you know, I always grew up playing baseball, basketball, and football, and loved sports, and loved the competition and competing, and of course, you always love to win, and there was really no second place. But when I accepted Christ, there was a change in my heart. And when I started actually growing in my faith and reading my Bible and praying and getting involved in church, actually my attitude changed. And it wasn't win at all costs. Now I think we should always compete to win, but my attitude changed a little bit because when I accepted Christ, I became a new person. I went to a church that had a softball league, and they invited me to play. And through that, being able to play softball and compete, I was able to build some relationships that got me closer, even closer to Christ. One of my friends started a prison ministry. And that was pretty cool because we had about 12 to 15 guys committed to go into the prisons. So we would be set up through the chaplain service, and we would go in as a group. We were called the Sports Reach, and we would play them in softball. And they were very competitive. And then what we'd do after the game is we would be able to introduce Jesus to them by an after-game devotional. And a lot of times these guys, young men, would be the first time they were introduced to Christ. And one particular story that we had is we played a team and they had a third baseman that was really, really good. And I said, gosh, you're really good after the game. And he had a rocket arm and he was really good and he had all these gold teeth. And I said, you know what? I honestly believe there's going to be softball in heaven. And I said, you know what? One of these days I want you to be on my team, way on down the road. And I said, but the only way that you could be on my team is if you have Jesus in your heart. And we gave a little invitation on who wants to accept Christ. And he was the first one to raise his hand. I want to accept Christ. And I said, one day we'll be playing softball in heaven. So that's just a neat little story about how God used softball to reach out one individual to accept Christ. Everybody has a gift. I was the one that attended church on Sunday, and I didn't want anybody to come up and shake my hand. I just wanted to stay back in the corner. I know a lot of you right now are saying, that's crazy because we know you. And yes, I understand that I am a piece of work. But 2 Corinthians 5:17 is one of my favorite scriptures. It says, therefore, if any man is in Christ, he's a new creation. Old things passed away, and behold, new things to come. And that's what happened to me is the old self was past, the insecurities, the low self-esteem. I still don't speak very well. I can't spell, but I can compete on the athletic field. And when I developed those skills of the 101s I talked about, of reading my Bible and praying, and I made that a lifestyle, then what I could do is use that for Christ. So if you're not athletic, so if you like to hunt, you can take your hunters out there and make it a lifestyle. If you like to cook, chef, that's an amazing gift. You can incorporate Christ in that. Psalms 37:4 says, delight yourself in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. That delighting is reading the Bible, staying prayed up and say, God, help me when I go in this carpool. Help me when I'm doing this cooking. Help me, Lord, when I'm going hunting. You may not be an athlete, but whatever you do, if you use it for the glory of God, you'll have complete joy. And that's what has happened to me.